Hey guys, it's Right Hand Man here. I redid the guide for Empire of Light and Dark, and I just wanted to run through quickly using the new character that I'm sharing, which is Frevia. These are the equips, and this is the team I'm going to run it through, and I'll go through equips really quickly for you guys. I'm kind of in a rush, so I'm just going to make the video really quickly. So Frevia has the most magic that I personally can put on her. I'm missing a couple gear to make it best in slot. However, you have two of her own TMs, Magisterial Crest, Genji Glove, Cat Ear Hood from Star Quartz, Siren's Robe from the Esper Trial, and 4 letters in arms. Now, for the tank here, I just have an HP weapon equipped. It doesn't really matter. Force Shield, yet again, from Star Quartz, though any high defense shield will work. Instead of Survivor Helm, you can use Grand Helm, which I'll go ahead and switch over to. That is from killing Two-Headed Dragon. And then Demon Mail is from clearing the Parade of the Possessed trial. But yet again, you can also use any high defensive equipment. It doesn't really matter. Domination Rings, I just put through those in there. You can also use Muscle Belts, which are down here. Anything to boost is HP even more. And as you guys can see, I have like 3 HP 10s equipped basically, but you have enough HP materia that it doesn't even matter. This is more than enough HP. So let's move on to Luca. Luca, I just have the Aurora Staff from Keys. Don't even have a body equipped to her. I have Chapeau from the Colosseum, and yet again, 2 muscle belts is more than enough. And then over here, I just have 3 HP 10 materials, basically. That gives her more than enough health to survive. And then over here on Cloud of Darkness, I even have less. I have only 1 muscle belt equipped. I'm not even giving him regular equipment. I basically just gave him stuff to boost his defense a little bit and equipped him with Bushido Freedom. I suggested you guys use a mage because they have more MP. However, Cloud of Darkness works in a pinch. And I just gave him a little bit more MP with gold and the MP 20% here. So let's go ahead and go into the trial, and I'll show you guys the event, and I'll show you guys how to clear this really, really quickly. Obviously, you would be bringing my Frevia here. Now, for items, make sure that you are bringing a tent down here, and then items like elixirs to bring your people back to full life if it's necessary, which it really shouldn't be. So this should be a pretty quick run. Obviously the story takes a bit, but I can skip it now, so that's good news. So during the run up to Wilhelm, you will be running into random mobs. Now for those, you can just use Frost Flash on my Frevia, which I'll show you right here. It should one-shot everything. So just use Frost Flash, click it, kills everything. You can just run through all the mobs that way. So let's just get through the rest of this really quickly. And we'll get on to Wilhelm. Now, there's 2 different ways that you can kill Wilhelm. You can focus purely on killing Wilhelm, since he does the majority share of the damage in this fight to your party. You can pretty much just focus down Wilhelm. The other soldiers aren't that necessary to kill quickly. However, just in case you don't have the strongest team, I personally suggest working down the ads first. I do realize that my Frevia can kill him very quickly. But this also allows you to build up limit burst gauge for your units. So if you want that extra 10%, then I would do it the way I'm suggesting, which is killing the ads first. So now that we are through all of the pre-battle fights, we'll run right up here, click menu, use items, and use a tent. Make sure we are fully HP and MP'd, and let's go into the fight. Click through the story really quickly. So here is my suggestion. For your very first turn, the unit that you're using to provoke, I'm using 2-star Golem that gives a provoke. However, if you have a Snow or a Zon that has a provoke built in, obviously just use that. Cecil is pretty useful for this fight, so we provoke over here on Cecil. I brought Luca, who has Deep Blue. It's a 5-turn defense buff, which works perfectly. However, if you're bringing Refia, she has Embolden, which boosts defense. And if not, bring someone with Protectica, like Y'shtola, or, you know, yeah, Protectica, very important. Even Cloud of Darkness has Protectica, so Cloud of Darkness would work in a pinch. And then for Frevia, go ahead and use Ice Age from the start. It'll prevent you from really taking any damage. And you can actually use Cloud of Darkness or your alternate attacker to attack and build Limit Burst crystals. So as you guys can see, you really don't take too much damage. You don't need to break their attack right from the start, I guess, since they do their boosts here. However, I'm not too worried about the defensive buffs that they do right now, so we'll wait until they do the offensive buffs as well before we Bushido Freedom or Dispel them. So go ahead and just use Frost Flash for my unit. It'll still do a decent amount of damage. Over on Cecil, you can use Curaja if you need to. And then Luca here, I'm just going to use Regenerate. It'll provide additional healing. Now, yet again, we can just auto-attack with Cloud of Darkness to build Limit Burst Crystals. And yeah, this is pretty much how the fight's going to end up going. As you can see, they really just don't do that much damage. And make sure you're clicking on these units to check their buffs, okay? And you can click on your own units too to see when Provoke is going to be up or down. So we know over here that the attack is still lowered going into the next turn, so we're good there. We can use Frost Flash. Cecil's Provoke is still good for one more turn, so we didn't take that much damage. We can just use Cura. Luca doesn't actually even need to do anything. She can just auto attack along with Cloud of Darkness to build even more Limit Burst Crystals. Now there was attack signal. That's the attack buff that the guards in Wilhelm does. And as you can see, Cecil ended up taking quite a bit of damage here. So this is where we take our Bushido Freedom or Dispelga or Dispel unit. And we'll go ahead and use that. And that clears off your debuffs as well as their buffs. So whenever you dispel a unit, you need to immediately go back and break them. Okay, so like I did, I used Dispel and then I re-broke them. As you can see, their attack's down. Now Cecil's Provoke wore off. If you go and click on the unit, you can tell he does not have Provoke anymore. This is something you guys need to get used to checking in a lot of our fights that are coming up. So we'll go ahead and just heal with Luca. We have Cecil using Provoke. And we can keep on going on with the fight. So the ads are at half health. We just keep on using Frost Flash. That's fine. Cecil obviously can heal this turn. He's got Provoke up, so we'll heal with that. And then on Luca, we'll just refresh our Deep Blue buff to make sure that we have it. And Cloud of Darkness can just, yet again, auto attack. I guess I should just auto attack. Because realistically, we do want those Limit Burst Crystals to be able to take them down. I wouldn't worry too much about trying to get my Frevia to use her Limit Break. I would just use a different offensive Limit Break along with killing with Frevia to get that bonus. So one more Frost Flash to do it. And if you want and you bring Cecil, you can actually use his Focus here. It'll boost magic. It boosts the damage of Frevia. And it also boosts Spirit. But so as you can see, we killed him. We're going to refresh our Regenerate over here. And just like I said, slowly work him down. You really should not take too much damage during this fight. He buffed again, defense and spirit. That's fine. We'll just go ahead and use Frostflower Blitz over here. And then just auto attack. Let's check our provoke. Our provoke wore off. We know we need to provoke this turn. This is stuff you guys got to pay attention on. And then we'll just use Priestess Miracle. Now we brought him down to 50%. So he should be, yep, there's the sweeps coming in. And this is where it becomes very important to go ahead and dispel him. So we'll use Bushido Freedom because I don't want to waste another dispel. That's fine. And then yet again, break his attack with Frevia. And then use Cecil or a dual cast healer to bring him back. Though you could just get by with just healing once. You don't absolutely need to be healing to full. So there's our shield bass stop. But luckily Cecil still covers. And stop didn't even actually land this turn, so that's great. We'll go ahead and use our Sacred Guard to get a little bit more damage. Go back into Frostflower Blitz. And as you guys can see, it really starts taking them down. And on these two, we'll refresh our deep... we don't need to refresh our deep blue because we just use Cecil's Limit Break. So we'll go ahead and refresh our Regenerate. And then Cloud of Darkness yet again can just auto attack for more crystals. So there's Attack Signal. That's what's been killing a lot of people. Attack Signal, 50% more attack, kind of rough. So what I suggest you do, yet again, you can see the ice resistance is already down. He's going to stop at 20%, so it doesn't matter. So what I would do is use Bushido Freedom, and then Frostflower Blitz here, and it kills him. I didn't even get to use the Limit Burst with that. So it really goes very, very quickly, guys. And that's the fight. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and best of luck clearing Empire of Light and Dark with my unit. I'll catch you guys later.